Folks, I got an awful lot to go over with you today. There is so much happening in the world. It's really hard to even comprehend. As you all know, I'm 81 years old, so I've been around a lot longer than most of you have. And I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. As you can see, the sun is not shining. I'm powered by the sun. The sun gives me energy. Agent Orange, Sheridan. Okay, look at all my friends here. All right, there's Fred. How are you, buddy? All right. Accidental Gangster, soon to be a movie. It sure is, folks. We're getting closer every day. But we're not here to talk about that or talk about me. Now, I do have to apologize because I tell you, all right, I come to you with truth and facts, and sometimes I'm wrong. And I guess I was wrong when I said that Bitcoin cannot be traced. When in fact, I discovered it could. People wrote me and told me, and then I heard on the news how it could be. So I want to go over that just a little bit with you. All right. On one hand, Bitcoin is completely private. On the other hand, it is entirely transparent and traceable. This is because Bitcoin is not completely anonymous, but rather pseudonymous. To send or receive Bitcoin, you must first obtain a Bitcoin wallet address. That's where the key is, okay? That wallet. Every single Bitcoin transaction, including wallet addresses, is recorded on a public distributed ledger. Anyone can view this ledger, including any interested tax office like the IRS or the FBI. Hmm? All activities associated with any given address are traceable. If an address is linked to a real identity through a wallet, an exchange, or a Bitcoin ATM, all associated transactions can be traced. So here it is that we thought that these people who got this Guthrie woman were smart. Obviously, they weren't that smart. You know, folks, I want to stick to what I said about this in the beginning, that I feel this is an inside job, meaning somebody in the family has set this up. Now, last night I reported about, the FBI served a search warrant on a home in Rio Rico, a town about an hour away from there, very close to the border, but they came up with nothing. Okay? It seems it was like an innocent person. For some reason, some reason they stopped him at a traffic stop and something led to them. I don't know what the reason is, but they didn't take him away. Okay, and they had the wrong guy. But folks, if you're watching it on TV, okay, and you see where the FBI and the sheriff are searching. They're searching their cesspool. They're searching all the ground. They're not looking for somebody that's alive. They're looking for somebody that they think is unalive and is no longer with us. Alright? And that's my thoughts. Why would they be looking in a cesspool? Well, a real person's not going to go in a cesspool, right? So, folks, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. I tell you all the time, getting kind of boring that I got to tell people to do that. Okay. Uh, hello, Sheridan. How are you? What's everybody doing today? Okay. Folks, you've heard me say Trump's boss is at the White House today. You all know who I'm referring to. You're going to see something happen tonight or tomorrow with Iran after this meeting, after Trump gets his information from Netanyahu. And as I told you, the Mossad only answers to Netanyahu, and they are some of the best investigators around. Probably better than our CIA. Well, we're going to see what that's going to be. And now, there's somebody saying that they want Bitcoin, okay? They want one Bitcoin to the following wallet, all right, for information to who got Nancy Guthrie. If somebody's got information, you pick up the telephone and say, this is it, okay? Why are you looking to make money? All right, the family will probably give you more than you're asking for, all right, for that information. So there's something very, very wrongful. I'm not the only one that hasn't seen this like this. Everybody else I know, nobody could figure this out. But I think the FBI know a lot more than they're telling us. It's just taking them time to put it together. And why are these people going to TMZ and different news organizations? It's got to be somebody that knows about news organizations. And who's involved in news organizations? Savannah Guthrie is. Okay? That means her family's involved. So they know all the ins and outs of this. Anyways, folks, that's it on her. What more could I say? There's nothing more to say here. I hope she's alive, but I don't think she is. Okay? Uh, I already had all my coffee this morning. Hello, Kathy. How are you? There's Mandy. Where you been? Folks, I heard this morning, but I couldn't find any verification. I heard on another YouTube channel that Bad Bunny, is that Bad Bunny, Red Bunny, the guy at the Super Bowl, or Congress is suing him or going after him, investigating him for his performance because they didn't like the way he was grabbing his private down there. Folks, I didn't like it, I gotta be honest, but all the rappers do it, okay? You see Shakira, you see Lopez, okay? You see Rihanna, they're shaking their butt. It's all the same thing, but they want to go after this guy, okay? Why? Because he's Puerto Rican. Well, Puerto Rico happens to be part of the United States, but they don't care. And I can't understand why they're not making Puerto Rico a state. All right? I just don't know, folks, what's going on no more in this world. No, the FCC, Mike, that's it? Who's going after them? Well, that's because Donald Trump, our president, that I voted for. And I'm very upset with him. That's what he said after the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense. Is an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands the word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records. Bullshit! He's not setting new standards and new records. Okay? He's making more goddamn money than he ever made in his life. Okay? Because he didn't speak English. Folks, how many of you understand all these rappers when they're singing? I gotta be honest, I can't. Actually, the only one I could is Tupac. He's no longer with us. And Lamar. They're the only two guys I understand the words. Okay? And I happen to like those two. But Trump, screw him. I'm not even going to read the rest of it. Okay? It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. You know, folks, another thing. You know, I'm here. I'm 81 years old. You see, I still got it, folks. Okay? And I'm thinking, hey, I got to do something to make more money. I want to make a few grand a month extra. Back in the old days, boom, I would open up a telephone room, okay, anywhere. One time I opened one above a restaurant. Friends of mine had a restaurant. I opened it up. I tell you, the ceiling went like this. I was able to get a table in there to get 8 people around and put the phones in. You never saw a telephone room smaller than that, okay? And within a week, folks, I was pumping out a few grand a week, okay? Who's this? Screw them. Hang on. Yeah, who is this? Who are you? Beep. Google Voice. Scams. Why can't anybody do anything about these calls, folks? I get more scam calls a day than I do real phone calls. That's getting crazy. But anyhow, that's what it is. So anyways, I'm thinking, trying to put something together so I can make a few grand extra a month, right? Nothing wrong with that. Because folks, look at it. You know, I got my, thank God, thank the Lord, I got my VA disability, okay? And I get 1,000 a month from Social Security. Boy, oh, I didn't pay a lot into it, so that's what all I get. Then I started thinking, what do young kids do today? I started hustling, all right? Oh, why am I wasting my time with hypocritical cultural warriors? Huh? Stacy says I'm cute. Thank you. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate that. So I'm thinking, I've been hustling since I was 12 years old, and I had a paper route. What the young kids do today, okay? There's no more paper routes. No more. Most newspapers are out of business, and those that are in business are online. All right? Let's see. Hmm, hmm. I got some information here. Where did I put it? Bitcoin, and I don't need that no more. There we go. There's so many notes here today, folks. Okay? And we don't have a lot of people. So what's today? Wednesday? All right, Mandy, let's make a note that, all right, Wednesday's not a good day to come on live. Okay? But for somebody 12 years old in today's world, the best jobs are informal, neighborhood based, or family run, focusing on tasks like babysitting, pet sitting, dog walking, lawn care, raking or wading, shoveling snow in the winter, which I did. I cut lawns. I wash cars. Oh, I got a job when I was 16 at a car wash. I got to tell you this story, okay? And I was at the end when the cars were coming out, and I had to clean the window. I remember I had this silver container that I would spray and then wipe down. All right, and the owner of the car, it was a nice car, a Thunderbird. Folks remember those cars? Okay, and what happened was this guy was so picky, it was crazy. You miss a spot here, a spot there. He's going all over the car. Finally, I just took the thing and went boom, and I just hit him on the side of the head. You can't remember, I was only 16. This guy was maybe 40 years old. Boom, I hit him. And I got fired. All right, but that didn't stop me. I still went out and kept working and hustling. All right, but paperwork are no longer there for these 12-year-old kids. All right, I don't know how many kids want to walk dogs. I guess some do that day. There are things, but it's not things like when we were young. Cleaning swimming pools is a job, but not for 12 years old. Okay, too young. No comments today, huh? I'm in not that great of a mood for it because she's not even come on today. Okay, there's something going on in my head, and can't figure out what's going on. Maybe it's just the way the world is, and that I'm not alone in this situation, in the way I'm thinking. Ah, I don't need you. You don't need that shit over there. Fly Flizzy, what do you mean? Huh? right, folks, you want to hear about gangster stories. So we're going to set aside Saturdays. All right? Saturdays we're going to set aside where you can ask me any question you want. Okay? So subscribe, put your notifications on, and I'll do it for an hour, hour and a half on Saturday. Come and ask me any question. I'll tell you a gangster story that you love to hear, you never heard before, and that's when I will tell you gangster stories. In the meantime, folks, for those who have not yet become a member, I have memberships available. All right, it's only a couple bucks a month, something like that there. Not a lot of money, all right, but my membership people get information before the rest of the public does. So be sure you're going to want to subscribe and all that good stuff. So, folks, I'm going to cut this short today, and I got things I got to do out in the world. I want everybody to get $4.99 a month. It is, Mandy, folks. $4.99 is nothing. Okay, so you want to do that there. All right, everybody. Have a great, blessed day. All my love and respect to you. Take care.